Hi everyone, my name is Mama Denta from African Mummy in Deutschland. I wanted to do a quick video on an issue that I had already talked about on a live video on Facebook, and I wanted to talk about domestic violence. And we all know about domestic violence. We have images of women with looking battered, but I wanted to talk about the part that most people don't talk about, the part that is very difficult for us to understand if we haven't really been in that situation, and that's the emotional aspect of it. Emotional abuse, psychological abuse in like as a form of domestic violence, because it's so hidden, it's so quiet, it's so difficult to explain, you know. And I wanted to talk about it so you know, like the tactics, because it's different if you don't know about it, you know. You just know you're not at ease. You just know there's something wrong with this relationship and you're not happy about it, but you don't know how to deal with it. And a lot of issues, normally I don't like to talk on relationship issues, but a lot of things have brought it to the forefront. Like I said, with my mom, for example, I was speaking to her over the weekend, and she was talking about going to a funeral, and she was talking about, oh, you know, there was this woman who's committed, the lady had committed suicide because her husband was worrying her. And like, I was like, oh my God, so is the husband in jail or something? What's going on? Like, what? And she's like, oh, you know, everybody's saying that the husband was very good, he cooks and he doesn't beat her, so, you know, the woman, it's they're all saying it's a family thing, it's family witches. And I'm like, I had to explain to my mom what exactly, like, you know, I had to explain to her that there's more to domestic violence than actually being hit, you know, the emotional aspect. And I thought my mom is like one of the smartest people in the world, and to me, so I was like, if I had to explain it to her, you know, and she's like, yeah, it's true, I can imagine what that would do to your mind. You can imagine what it is. So it's not a physical thing that you can go and show, here my bruises. So I wanted to talk about it because sometimes you don't even know. Like I talked about in the video where a friend was gaslighting me, and I actually did not know that I was being gaslighted. So I want to talk about this aspect of coercive control. I want to talk about it, and then I also want to touch on the points quickly so that it's a shorter video, more concise, so you can share it and I can share it and it will be lighter. So basically, and another reason why I wanted to talk about it was because of Stella Weber. We had a conversation yesterday. I met her yesterday. She had this Elton workshop. She is a very popular person. Everybody knows her in Essen, Oberhausen, Mülheim and the Ruhr. They know about her because she helps with Jugendamt. If people have problems with Jugendamt, you know, she really helps immigrants, Nigerians, Ghanaians, Cameroonians. She's very popular. So we were talking about this issue, and the trend that ran through it was that all these women who are having their children taken away from them are in abusive relationships. They're in abusive relationships. They don't know how to handle it. The children are aggressive because of what they're seeing at home, and the parents don't know how to discipline them, so they're disciplining them in a more aggressive way. The mother is taking out her frustration on the children, and the children are reporting and they're being taken away from them. So I needed to speak about this issue and then talk about it, and then also, if you know you're in this situation, you know how to handle yourself. And the first thing I wanted to talk about was degradation. You have a situation where the person is verbally abusive, is a form of domestic violence, but then they're always telling people degrading and dehumanizing stuff about you, always saying nasty stuff about you. There's always some kind of discussion about you in public, you know, demeaning things that you shouldn't say about people you love, you know, degrading you, humiliating you, always reporting you. You're always being humiliated in a way. Another thing is, that's one. Number two is when you have a situation where you can't do anything good. Oh, you're the one who's always at fault. You're the one who always has a problem. That person doesn't have a problem. You need to change. You have a problem. You do this. You're this. You're that. You're this. You know, where you're always being blamed. This is how the children are behaving. There's nothing like that in my family. You always have a problem. Then you know, because I've been blessed where I've been in a situation where I know what a healthy relationship is. In a healthy relationship, the person does not blame you for everything. So yeah, so then you know what a healthy relationship is. You know how to go about it, because it's a way of stealing your peace of mind, you know, stealing your peace of mind, then you're no longer at ease. You're always feeling down. It's stealing your self-esteem. These points I'm going to talk about are coercive control. In fact, the psychologist who coined the term, he says it's a pattern of behavior. So first, we're talking about the degradation, the humiliation, you know, and it's not only, also threats. The person is always threatening you about, if you don't do this, I'll do that. You know, you're living in fear. Threats of intimidation, threats of disgracing you in public. You know, that kind of threats, always threatened. That's also a sign, a tactic of coercive control. You have a situation where, so you're living in fear. You have a situation where the person isolates you. You are not supposed to talk to this person. You're not supposed to talk to the person. You're talking to someone over the phone. Can you imagine? This person is a stupid bitch. She's a whore. You know, I'm just doing what's best for you. You know, that person always knows what's best for you. You don't know what's best for you. That's a form of coercive control. It steals your self-esteem. It robs you of your mind, you know. The next thing I want to talk about is gaslighting, where you have a situation where the person makes you doubt yourself. You have a situation where the person does stuff, and you say, you did this, and no, me, are you sure? Are you going crazy? Gaslighting is from a term where a person tried to make someone feel crazy. A movie where this guy, he was a criminal, and he wanted his wife to go crazy, so he kept, you know, everything that she said, he doubted it and all that. The next thing is like this aggressive behavior, like destruction of property. You know, something that is precious to you, the person is destroying it, you know, your phone, maybe your letters, your pictures, you know, those kind of destruction, you know, and the person hasn't physically hit you, but maybe the television that, you and the children are watching in peace just comes and uses a hammer to break it, you know, that kind of thing. You have a situation where, financial control, where the person is in charge of the money, is always, you know, pinching, you know, and you laugh about it. Oh, my husband, he's stingy. There is that, and there's when the person tries to control you through money. Like the person makes you desperate, you know, even when it's your own money. If you spend your own money, it's a problem, you know, that kind of financial control. There's a problem there. Then, there's so many patterns of behavior. You also have a situation, because the thing is, the children are seeing that. You know, you have a situation, children are going to, and you know, we live in Germany. These things are always recorded. You know, they think it's normal because this is what they're seeing at home. Daddy's always screaming on mommy, daddy bullying mommy. You know, children are sensitive to these kind of things. So they go home, and then they go to kindergarten, and they do this, and then it's on their record, you know, and it's on your record forever. In Germany, in Deutschland, it's on your record forever, you know. So we're putting our kids in danger, you know. So these things, the person makes you depressed, like with gaslighting, when you're always doubting your sanity, when you're always, you know, that kind of thing makes you depressed. And then you're depressed, you're sad, you know, you're not at ease, you can't do anything right, you're always being criticized. You know, it's a way of destroying your peace. The person will isolate you, the person, constant monitoring and surveillance, where the person is always checking where it's nice, you know, love, we're talking. That one is different. But when you're always being surveyed, you have children, the person is using the children to report on you, the person is checking your text messages, checking your numbers, all those things. That's just some crazy things. Those are forms of coercion. In the UK now, that it's a form of brainwashing. In the UK now, coercive control is a crime. So it's a form of brainwashing. Before you know it, they're like, you don't know, you cannot even make decisions without calling the person, because you've been so long under this person's regime. So these are just a few points that I wanted to talk about. So when you know this, you know, this is why I'm feeling this way, this is why I'm so frustrated, you know. And there's some other points I'm trying to recall, but then basically these are the few that I want to bring across. And then if you have someone, you can ask for help. I'm going to put the number of Stella Weber. She can provide you the resources. You can go for help, seek counseling. You know, there are places you can go for counseling. I'll also put the information there under this video, and then you'll be able to know what to do next. So thanks for watching, and then see you later. Bye.